Okay, so I have some homemade tools here that I want to show you how to make. And the first one I'm going to show you is this clay cutter made out of floral wire and corks. And then a rib made out of a hotel key card. A needle tool made out of popsicle sticks and a turkey trussing needle. And a modeling tool made out of a popsicle stick. So the first thing I want to do, I'm going to start off making the wire cutter. I'm going to poke a hole in the middle of the corkscrew. Try not to poke yourself. And you don't have to do this, but it's better to anchor the wire in. I'm just going to widen the hole a little bit. Go in there a couple times, if you can. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my wire and cut a length of about 3 or 4 feet, something that you can manage. I'm gonna try to straighten that wire out as much as you can. I'm going to take my little cork and put the wire through the middle, like so. Then I'm going to take my needle nose pliers. You could probably do this by hand. Remember, I'm just kind of a type A personality, so I like to make sure everything's all good. And I'm going to make a little knot here. Then when you have this loose end here, all you have to do is, with the cork, is just stick it right back in the cork. Press down on it. Okay, then wrap it around a couple times. And then you start on the other side. Kind of hard to see where I have my camera pointed, so I apologize if it's not always on center.
The X is still the middle.
I have my helper, my peanut gallery in the background helping me out here. Make my little loop-de-loop, little knot. In here, it'll help keep the wire from coming out. Little bugger gets stuck. Ah, genius power. I love it. Doesn't want to obey me. This camera shy. It doesn't want to obey me, but just as long as you get that pointed end stuck in there, it should be okay. And then wrap around a few times. And what I like to do is I like to make sure there's a good fit, and I'll wrap it around, loop this one through so that it's like tied in another little knot. So that way you have your tool and it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so that one's done. Pretty easy, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I wanted to do this one second so I could use it to poke my corks. But I have crazy glue here. You don't have to use crazy glue. If you have another kind of glue, you can use that. But this one's a little thick, this trussing needle, so I'm going to grab one that's a little bit thinner. I'm going to take this crazy glue and put it on a stick. Don't touch the crazy glue. It's going to stick to your hand, and that's kind of a nightmare. Try to get it a good ways up there. Okay, then you're going to grab this end, put some crazy glue on that end, and turn it over. Remember, do not touch the glue. There's a little drop there, so I'm going to try to avoid that. But I'm going to push down. Push down for like a good 30 seconds. Get that nice and on there. Make sure it's coming out straight. Oops. Wants to stick now. It got glue everywhere. See, once you get glue on your fingers, you can't get it off ever again. I'm going to take some black duct tape or Gorilla Tape, and I'm going to tear a strip like that, and I'm going to wrap it around. Oops, that part didn't stick yet. See, once you spill crazy glue everywhere, it kind of gets on everything and your fingers, which is a drag. Get another bit of glue, tape. Poke the middle of the tape like this, but don't stab yourself. And this will help the needle to stay in place. And then take some more duct tape. And then you can take it all the way up if you want to. I took it to just about the end. You can make it as friendly as you want. It's nice to have something to grip to when you're using the cutting tool like that. What's great about Gorilla Tape is that even though it's really sticky, you can tear it just like that. And it's very sticky. So I have glue on my fingers and Gorilla Tape. And now you have a really good, very functional needle tool. You don't want to leave this part too long. If it's too long, mine's a little bit too long, I'm actually going to cut it with my wires. So you want to get more of the handle in there. Oops. Did I poke you in the eye, babe? And it doesn't have to be sharpened, but you can use a piece of, I'm just going to put it right on the glue spot there, sandpaper, and sand it down to your little heart's content. You want it to be about 2.5 inches long, the needle tool. If it's too long, it's just going to bend. Okay, where we have the rib that I made. And what I did, you can leave it as is, so you don't have to cut it. But what I did is I took a Sharpie and I used a cup to form the lid. This is already dry. So I took the cup and the Sharpie and I traced where I wanted, how I wanted my, oops, that didn't work out too well, did it? It's kind of hard with one hand, with nobody. Ah! I think that's an edit point. So, but you can use regular scissors to cut that. And it doesn't matter if it's sloppy, because no one's gonna know. So you just cut it. You wanna try to stay within the line as best as you can. And cutting is not gonna be perfect because it's very stiff plastic. So, you know, just try to be as neat as you possibly can, but you can sand it. And it's not gonna come out beautiful, but you can sand it with sandpaper. Pretty much anything can be sanded with sandpaper. Beautiful. A nice little rib there. A happy rib. Happy little ribs. That's what Bob Ross would say. If he was doing this, he'd be calling it a happy little rib. And now this once fabulous Costco card, that's what it was, has now been repurposed into a fabulous ceramic rib. Oh, looks like I'm not in the middle. There we go. And last but not least, the modeling tool. It's pretty straightforward. You cut this at an angle, and then you get your handy dandy little sandpaper, and you sand it down so there's no little spikies, no little splinters. Everybody's nice. You could put tape on there and make it real fancy like. You could color it, put your name on it, do whatever you want. Isn't that nice? Thank you, bye.